And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, November 29th, 2014. This is Season 8, Episode 48. I'm Scott.
I'm Dennis.
I'm Matt.
I'm RJ.
And welcome to the show, everybody. It is Saturday, November 29th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving for us here in America. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You can check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat as well as on Facebook. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're streaming the cam feed right now through Twitch. Head over to twitch.tv. You can find us there as well as join the chat room live while we broadcast and join other listeners who are currently chatting it up. I have no idea what the conversation is in the chat room right now.
Just saying hey.
I can barely see the chat room as it is right now. I had a lot of interference with my laptop's charging cable with the audio, and had to get rid of that. And also, to save battery, I've turned the brightness down so I can barely see anything. But that's okay. We're grateful to have you here this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I know everybody's got holidays and families and things, and it's the weekend. So asking you to join us on a Saturday is... You know, it's a tough thing to ask for, and we appreciate it when you are able to accommodate us, and we really do. Thank you for that. I'm going to try and fix my mic, and it's not going to work because it's not my mic.
Probably mine.
No, it's not anybody's mic. I'm just... see, this is how we do things around here, folks. We test it live on the air.
Fiddle.
Because that is apparently the only way... that we are able to do this.
You have to do it right here, right now.
Right, exactly.
That's what makes radio so exciting.
Yeah.
We've been making this up as we go along for, 8 years now?
Too long, to be honest with you. It'll be really nice when we get that new place.
Yep.
And everything will be back to, the way it needs to be. So
hopefully.
I know, yeah. Well, no, it will be. It will, trust me. The downstairs looks so much... That little thing, that board thing that you operate on, it's so much better. So much better.
They should add in a mini bar.
It's all digital. It's like, everything connects with like Cat 5 cables and stuff. It's all completely digital.
Okay.
And I look forward to that day. I don't know when exactly. I don't want to give you a date because that is one of those beyond our control things. Like when we did this, when we did the time change, that was under our control. We could tell you when we were going to do that. Moving an entire studio from one room to another is not something that we can just say, hey, this is when it's going to happen, and that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
That is in somebody else's hands, somebody far more capable than my own, or than I could ever wish to be as far as that sort of thing is concerned. Yeah. But when we do, it's going to be so nice.
Yeah, we all saw for ourselves how much was involved in moving all the wires and cables and rewiring this.
Yeah, you can see a pile. There's like a stockpile downstairs right outside our studio. Not this studio, but the one that will be our studio. There's just a stockpile of just wires and equipment and stuff that's going to the trash because of all the stuff they had to yank out. It's not done like it used to be done before. And none of that stuff is necessary. So, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with the guy who hasn't been here in a while. Let's go with Matt. He was here for a week, and then he left, and now he's... Are you going to be here next week?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. I just took a week vacation from my vacation to go visit family in California.
Right. You're on... How long are you on vacation for?
Till end of December.
Oh, okay. You're good. Well, what's been going on with you other than traveling around doing other stuff?
Been downloading games since my laptop just kind of crashed and took my game hard drive with it. I've been having to re-download my Steam library, but one of the first things I got was FarCry 4. And I've been playing the mess out of that.
I need to. You got that on PC?
Yes,
I believe. Yeah, I need to. I really should.
I mean, last time I was here, I was talking a little bit about Alien Isolation. How I like the atmosphere. I like I could tell I'm going to like the game. It's just I need a little bit more, I guess, mind-numbingly shooting. And that Far Cry 4 is just, it's always been that. I like the series, and I'm having a great time with it.
Oh, good. Anything else that you've, dabbled in as far as gaming?
Loaded up Wasteland 2.
That's right. You were a backer.
I was a backer for that.
Yeah.
And so, just like looked around in that a little bit. Looks really, really pretty, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. On that, just picked up Dead Space 1 and 2 for the cheap, with the Steam sale going on.
Right.
And
that's a Steam sale, but I'm not really paying
Yeah.
much attention to it, really.
I mean, I think it's gotten to the point with our game libraries that when Steam sales come, it's just like I have most everything that I want already from other Steam sales.
Well, and also it's like, am I going to play this game before the next Steam sale?
Exactly.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
See, that's the big one keeping me from buying. And maybe their stats show this. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what their stats show on this sort of thing. How well does a sale like this do when people know that in less than a month, really, they're about to have
another one,
another sale?
Yeah, and I saw a few of the developers say that because there's not voting or any particular contest going on, maybe that's also not getting causing it to not get a lot of interest among people.
Yeah,
because you don't have the meta game, I guess, for the sale.
Yeah, it's very possible. I don't know. But yeah, it's one I'm really not paying attention to. Even like I said, even the ones that do pop up and are like, no, there's another sale coming up.
Yeah,
that I don't think it's going to be cheaper than that. I don't think that the holiday sale is going to have a cheaper price than that for the game that I want. I just figure, okay, no, not right now. I can hold off for a month and pick this up when it hits the holiday sale. And if it does.
There's some games like Shadow of Mordor that I'm looking at, and I'm like, all right, 30-something bucks for that. It's not bad. But it's kind of interesting to me, like certain games, like where's that price break where it's like, even like at $6, Duke Nukem Forever, I'm still like, I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. That's still a little high for that game.
Going back to what you've been playing, Far Cry 4,
yes.
How far into it are you?
I'm still, if you played in the Far Cry series, even especially like if you played third, Far Cry 3, you kind of know that there's like broken up into like two big maps, like one island and the other island. This is, not giving away too much. I think it's kind of, not really spoiler territory, but the
careful when he says this, folks. Spoilers to Matt is different than spoilers to other people.
Fair enough. The map is kind of broken into the southern part and then the northern part.
That doesn't sound like a spoiler to
No,
me.
yeah. I'm still in the southern part, but I think I'm getting close to unlocking the second half. Okay. And once you unlock the second half, then you could do some of the the missions up there. You could finish out the like in Assassin's Creed when you sink and like it reveals more of the map. Mm-hmm. You could do more of that, and those get you actually guns. And so once I finish that out, then I'll have like the better guns and the better equipment.
It's gotten good reviews. It's gotten fairly good reviews.
It's a lot of fun. At first I was like, all right, an elephant, you could ride it. That's interesting. But once you first get on the elephant and you're just like tearing through an outpost and just, oh man, it's actually a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. You could charge people with the elephant charge, or you could like pick them up with the trunk.
Have you done any co-op with it?
No, I'm just doing single player.
Okay. I was curious about that. I know Nate had talked about his experience with, because I'd given him one of the keys.
Okay.
Because I'm on PS4.
Yeah.
So I can give him one of the keys, and then all he has to do is like download part of the game, and then he's able to play for 2 hours co-op.
Okay.
Even though he doesn't have the game.
Yeah.
So he really, really enjoyed that.
I think that's like just enough to get you like hooked on it. So that way, you're like, okay, maybe I could go out and buy it now.
2 hours, yeah, it should be. It should be just enough to get you exactly what you want out of it.
And the little micro helicopters that they have, the little micro birds, whatever.
Yeah,
that's just a lot of fun because
I think they're what are they?
Gyrocopters.
Yeah.
Previously, in like the Far Cry series, you need to get across the map. I just do the fast travel, but in a way, it feels kind of just cheating. And this, if there's a gyrocopter anywhere close by, even if like it's on the opposite end of the map, I'll hop into that gyrocopter and fly there just to see things and just to like fly around. I really enjoy it. I wish they had them more readily available.
Yeah. RJ, anything on your end?
Played some Virtua Fighter 5 this week. Also tried to finish off The Evil Within.
Oh,
try to finish off the Dead.
What'd you want to call that a minute ago? The Dead Within?
The Dead something. I was thinking of Dead Space for a second there.
Still
apologies.
Still had Dead Space on the brain,
huh? Still do. But tried to finish off The Evil Within, but since it was a borrowed copy, I had to give it back. So I got as far as I could with that, about to Chapter 7. My overall impression with this really is that there's a lot of pressure and tension when you play a game like this, basically because the resources are so limited. I don't know how it is on casual. I was just playing on survival level difficulty, but my first and foremost thought now when I encounter enemies, the first thing I want to think about is where to run to, not how to shoot. I mean, because the ammo's so few and far between, you never know when you're going to get another one. But you know attacks are coming, but you don't know if you're going to have enough on you to survive the fight to begin with.
Is it where if you get far enough away from them, they'll lose the scent essentially?
They'll lose track of you maybe, but a lot of times like that, there's no way to escape places unless you take some folks out.
It kind of makes me think of an old PS2 game called Siren, or I think it's now known as Forbidden Siren currently, but had similar things where there are enemies where you had to basically kind of stealth around.
Yeah, some things like that. I've ran away from enemies before. Then I've while running from them, I've run into more on the way up there. I'm like, okay, I got to go back. Wait a minute. The 3 I left behind before, I'm going to run into them again. I just made things worse for myself now. Things like that go on. But yeah, it's a constant sense of pressure and dread to maintain your stuff. And even when you're shooting, you're like really trying to focus on make sure you hit this shot because I don't know if I'm going to get any more bullets after this. You get all this stuff, but ammo, you got to have the ammo for it to use it. And sometimes I got like 6, 7 things to attack with, but I only have 2 bullets for each one. So I'm pretty much limited on that. And one thing that really got me was that, I have a knife to perform stealth kills with, but I can't use it in melee.
Really?
It's like whatever weapon you have equipped, like the gun, you can hit folks with a gun or pistol whip someone or stock smash with the shotgun and things like that, or just swipe with the agony crossbow. But the knife, I would love to use a knife and equip it. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'd like to use that for a standard melee instead of using bullets all the time.
That was on sale this weekend. Evil Within? Talking about? Yeah, that was on sale this weekend. A lot of places had it on sale for like $25, $20, something like that.
Yeah, that's one I'm
and I completely passed. Steam had it on sale for like $20, and I totally passed over it.
Yeah.
No desire to play it, or just personal preference?
Just
didn't move you.
Yeah, it still hasn't. I don't know why.
It's Shigen Mikami, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I love his stuff, and Bethesda's, pretty good track record. So I mean, it's calling my name. It's just I haven't picked it up yet. I don't know why.
Yeah. But if you want a good challenging horror experience, rent it or pick it up or however you want to get your hands on it, have at it. I had a good time with it.
Anything else?
Just those 2, VF and Evil Within. Probably be back to Dead Space later on, try to finish what I started.
Over to you, Dennis. Anything on your list since we last spoke to you?
A lot more Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
I forget.
Of course. Yeah. But finally got to the point where I beat one of the new final bosses, as it were. And steadily, slowly getting better at that game. Also checked out a kind of old, not really old, web-based game called Fall in London, originally known as Echo Bazaar. But it's a kind of a web-based role-playing game. You're in London, and it's fallen underground, and it's you basically exploring, trying to find out mysteries. Kind of a very Lovecraftian feel.
Is it kind of like Metro? Like
not really. I mean, it's all mostly text-based. There are like some images, but it's mostly a narrative-heavy kind of game.
All right.
But I've maybe spent an hour with it so far. Got through the short little introduction and haven't had much time to do anything with it yet, but it's kind of right up my alley.
Yeah.
But these are the same guys who also have a game on Steam, Sunless Sea, which I've heard is really good.
Yeah, I have that, I think.
Steam. Oh, you actually picked it up?
Yeah, a couple of weeks back, or months back, really, and I haven't done anything with it.
I believe it's still in early access.
It's an early access thing. I say I picked that up. Maybe that was when I just looked at really wanting to pick up, and I actually never did. That's what happened. I've got my Steam library here, so just fire it up and see. But anything else other than your Binding of Isaac and stuff?
Yeah, no, that's been about it for me. Just more of the usual. Wind Waker, of course.
On the Wii U?
Yeah, the Wii U version of Wind Waker. Got it with Mario Kart 8 a couple months ago.
You played the original Wind Waker, right?
Yes.
How does this compare to that? Like better, like noticeably better graphics, or just
As I mean, it looks good. It looks like it was never a thing for me. I'm not a person who like looks at it. It's like is measuring out like dots per inch or anything. It's like, okay, it looks really good. I mean, it looks like they've made a point of getting it on 1080p and making it look great. A lot of quality of life stuff added to it. Like I got just got a sail that automatically changes wind direction for you, whichever way you're facing. So little stuff like that just makes the game a lot better. My understanding is the map quest near the end is not anywhere near as what's the word? Just not as much as just a trudge. You don't have to trudge through that and go find all 8 pieces or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, very good stuff in Wind Waker HD. If you like the original,
get
a Wii U, pick that up.
It's the only Zelda that I got that far in. Right to the last boss.
Yeah,
it's the only Zelda I ever got that far in. And like I said, that once I beat that, if I ever do, that'll be the first and only Zelda game that I've ever beaten.
Really?
Yeah, I never beat I never was interested in the first one. I really skipped out on the sequel. I mean, I was never big into the first one to begin with.
Well, let's say Zelda 2 was like completely different.
Yeah,
a lot more actiony than the first one.
About the only one in the main series or whatever that I haven't played was Skyward Sword.
Play Skyward Sword. That was a good one. The physics though, like you have to have a duel with every monster you run into. It is it can be frustrating times because like I just want to swing my sword. That's
I don't want to wag my arm in order to play the game, and that's the whole reason why. Because like Twilight Princess, I almost wish I had picked it up on the GameCube. Because that would, in my opinion, that's like the real, air quote version.
I mean,
he's left-handed in that one, as Link is. It's you're not.
You don't have the map flipped around.
Yeah, it's just the little things like that. And I want to play a game. I don't want call me lazy or whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't mind playing it. It's not like you're like doing this the entire time you're playing it. Well, not Skyward Sword. There are sequences where you don't use your sword. You do some really good ones where you have no weapons at all and have to run through an area, which is just really good. Nice atmosphere and everything. I'll show you something after the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't think I'd quite justify breaking out my Wii in order just to play it, just because, there's other things out there. I am, however, looking forward to Majora's Mask on the 360. I mean the 360. Wow, no, the 3DS.
Yes,
because I beat the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
when I was deployed, and that was.
Yeah, I'm open.
Really
did you ever play through the original Majora's Mask?
A little bit of it. I'd never beat it. So.
Yeah, a lot of people get hung up on like the first introductory section before you get the entire Groundhog Day thing going.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they make that a lot better and a lot easier to understand because everybody, about 90% of people I talk to is like, I couldn't get the numbers I need to get through this area, or, whatnot. And it was just like, you're missing out on some good games. Yeah. It sucks that the introductory section is what's putting you off of it.
And I've read some interesting things about it. It's one that's always piqued my interest. Like some of the theories about like Link and like the whole area. And I don't know. I definitely want to play it, so that's why I'm looking forward to that one coming out.
On the phone right now is Nate.
Hey.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey, man.
What up, guys?
Hey, Nate.
What's going on, man?
Good timing on calling in. Great idea to do so. Let's talk
you
to
been
you.
playing?
What's been going on with you?
Well, that's why I called.
Perfect.
Just wanted to make sure you guys all survived the Black Friday sales.
I did okay. I stood out in line on Thursday. Because it's really not Black Friday anymore. It's
when it starts.
Yeah, really.
It'll be like Black Wednesday before we know it.
Listen, compared to my previous Black Friday experiences, I love doing them, by the way. Compared to my previous ones, this one was a breeze. This was nothing. This was nothing at all.
I think a lot of people just sit in their house and do it online now.
Well,
sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Well, it's that, and no one knows when it actually starts now. So they just kind of...
It was
good point,
man. It was fantastic. I got to Best Buy. At about 3 in the afternoon. Their doors were opening at 5, and I was maybe the 80th person in line. somewhere around the 80 mark, because when they finally let us go in, they let us go in stacks of 40 people at a time, and I was in the second group.
Did you push over any little kids?
No, there was nobody to push over, man. There was no rushing. There was no fighting. There was no. Then again, I wasn't going after any big items. I was like, I'm gonna get a Blu-ray player. What else? Oh, a couple of DVDs. What else could I have? You know, I felt no rush. The reason I wanted to get there as early as I did, though, was because I want to get my stuff and go. Waiting too far back in line means you've got to wait for everybody else to check out, and checkout takes a long time during these things. It likely takes you longer to check out than it does getting into the store and then getting all the stuff that you want. You'll be in a checkout line for a good hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, I did it I went to Walmart in 2012 when it wasn't quite as organized, and it was.
Walmart I will never do again.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently now, though, they do it differently and hand out tickets for everybody, but the time that I went,
I still don't want to risk it.
it was brutal.
It's like appliance Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was horrible. I'll never do Walmart again. I can't even remember what I think I got a luggage set when I did it last time, and that was it. That was just that was horrible. As far as gaming stuff, when I went, I picked up a couple of Disney Infinity characters. I do not have the Disney Infinity game. I just wanted the 3 characters that I got.
Yeah.
Venom.
You did get those?
Yeah, because they were like 3 for $30.
Yeah, that was a good deal.
And plus we got our Gamers Club Unlock stuff, so it knocked them down even further.
Yep.
So I got Venom, and I got Jack Skellington, and then I got the Mickey Mouse, the Sorcerer's Apprentice version of Mickey Mouse.
Classic.
Just because I'm a huge fan of Fantasia.
Oh, yeah.
And so I grabbed that. In fact, I picked up the Fantasia game for Xbox One for like $20.
Yeah,
that came out in October. So as far as gaming's concerned, I got that. What else did I pick up? I thought I picked up another game. During Amazon's sale, they did Assassin's Creed Rogue for the PS3 and for the Xbox 360. I picked up the 360 version for $20, $20 or $25. And I also grabbed Diablo 3 for the PS4. That was on sale for $30. Reaper of Souls. Yeah, so I grabbed that. I may or may not. I'm on the fence on that one. I may or may not.
Don't
keep
you have
it.
that on the PC?
I do have it on the PC. Yeah.
Not that I'm ever one to question having it on multiple systems.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm guilty.
It's just I try.
I know some folks do like couch co-op on their console with Diablo.
Yeah,
3,
and I've got a couple of people I see playing it together, and I'm like, I could join in with them and do that. Now that I have it, and I could do the same thing. I could go on my PC, fire it up, and log into Battle.net and see who's playing, and then I guess join in with them. I suppose.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know you had a Battle.net account.
Oh yeah. Well, I played Diablo. I have Diablo. I played it with Matt and Jeremy and
Kevin was on there for a bit. James
was Kevin?
Yeah, I remember playing with Kevin.
I know I played with James and Jeremy on PC back when it first released.
This was back before the 2.0.
Oh yeah, way before then.
Yeah.
And then it just fell through and nobody played it. I don't even know if I can get into my Battle.net account. That I'll have to see because I got that little app on my phone.
Yeah.
It's been forever, though, since I've used it, so I have no idea. But as far as gaming's concerned, that is pretty much all I picked up for Black Friday. And I haven't touched a single one of those yet.
The only thing I went after, which I was telling you, I did the Amazon had the Lord of the Rings. It was the extended edition Blu-ray, and then you got Shadows of Mordor for $54. And this was Tuesday.
Really?
Was it Tuesday?
That you got what Shadow? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was sometime during the week. It was before Black Friday, but they were doing a sale where you could get the Lord of the Rings extended edition Blu-ray, the Lord of the Rings books, all of them, and Shadow of Mordor for how much? $70?
Well, you could get that. I just got the game and movies. I didn't get the books.
Oh, okay.
And for just the game and the movie, it was $54.
Yeah.
So it made Shadows of Mordor 25, and then the movies 30 or whatever.
I know you had played Shadow of Mordor at like a friend's house or something. You were the first one to tell us, what you had thought about it. So, have you just dived right into it?
Yeah, but I was just playing everything I've already played up to, just kind of get through it. But
yeah.
kind of nice to actually own it, so I can play it on my own time. And then the Blu-ray, such a nice box.
It really is.
I have I bought those back a while ago, and really nice.
It's the reason I haven't picked up any of the Hobbit DVDs yet or Blu-rays yet, because I'm waiting for
the extended edition.
I'm waiting for the extended edition collection of all 3 films, or even worse, the extended edition collection of all 6 films. Yeah. Of all 6 films.
Man, that's going to be a lot of bonus features.
Yeah.
It would take you like a month to finish it.
I would, and I would love to sit down and do a huge. I'm going to get up one morning very early and start with the first one and go right through the set.
All right, this is similar to with the Star Wars, how they had the original, then the prequels. Like in this, they had Lord of the Rings, then the prequel, I guess, would be The Hobbit. Would you watch it in theatrical release order, or
No, I'd watch it in chronological.
So you'd watch it. All right, so you'd watch it
exactly
Hobbit, Hobbit, then Lord of the Rings.
What is his name? Peter
Molyneux.
No, not
Jackson.
Molyneux. Peter Jackson.
Yes.
Yes, Peter Molyneux directed The Hobbit. No. See, he didn't screw up that franchise like Lucas did his. Yeah, Lucas screwed up his franchise. That's the reason That's the reason people have a. What is it called? What's the order? What is it? There's
the hatchet cut.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Some weird order that you have to watch the movies in because the guy screwed up his own series.
Yeah, it's like 4, 5, 2, 3, 6.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I wouldn't say screwed up his own series.
He screwed. I will every time you say that, I will put Jar Jar Binks in front of you and say he screwed up his own series.
Hey,
and Little Orphan Annie.
In the new movie.
Do what?
He's coming back in the new movie.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He is not.
You're lucky you're not here, so we can't.
I'm just going to hang up on you now.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as the stuff I've been, is that all? Is anything else you've been doing?
Oh, just Binding of Isaac and WoW. Just those 3 things now.
Right. You got the Binding of Isaac bug as well.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah.
It was quite fun.
For myself, I have not. What have I been doing? I haven't played
another 30 minutes for your non-playing.
No, see, I haven't been playing anything.
So that's 30 minutes there.
I've been getting over the cold that I have, and I've got Far Cry 4 sitting there, and I've got GTA 5, and I ain't doing a damn thing with them. I don't know why. I'm not playing them, man. It's really.
You should just trade it back in.
Probably you. I was gonna bring GTA 5 because you wanted to borrow it.
Yeah.
But you're not here, and so I can't get it to you.
I would just trade it in.
No. I'm going to give you the disc without any case then, so you'll get as low as possible price. Yeah, I'll probably trade that back in. I really want to put in some time with Far Cry 4, though.
You should trade it in.
And GTA 5, I totally have.
That's what I'm saying.
I have every intention to.
I picked it up for the PS4. I pre-ordered it and actually did the digital, not the disc. I bought it from the PlayStation Store.
Did you play it? You didn't play it when it.
No, I did.
Oh, you did.
A little bit after everybody, but I've noticed it looks nicer. It's still fun. It's GTA.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you, last week we talked about this, but I got as soon as that first mission hit where you get in the car and have to drive, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to figure out this driving controls anymore. I got used to them last time when I played it, but I just was like, I'm not going through these motions
doing
again.
that in first person now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you not save stuff to whatever rockstargames.net or something, save my progress there so I can import my progress here so I don't have to go through all this again.
They import your
online thing.
Yeah, not the
I want my import from like my single player so that I can go around the city and have fun and not have to worry about missions or the fact that I don't have enough money, which I got plenty of in the
That's coming next gen.
Next gen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of annoyed me. So yeah, that thing's going back. I haven't played that. Excuse me, I haven't played Far Cry, and I need to, but I haven't played it.
It's a lot of fun.
The only thing I've been playing is Talos Principle. Anytime I think about playing something, I go straight back to Talos Principle.
Which I did beat all of those, by the way, all the levels. Oh, that's another thing I was playing. I forgot about that. I beat all of that.
Did you find the stars?
All of them, yep.
Nice. And then did you input the stars into the room and go in that room?
I beat everything.
Okay, good.
I beat all of it. Then I showed my brother-in-law. I did a speed run in like 10 minutes.
Now you should download the game, Sigils of Elohim, I believe. It's a companion. You can download it on iOS, or you can download it on Steam and play it. It's completely free.
Okay. What was it called?
Sigils of Elohim or something like that. Look up Talos Principle and see if you can find related games, and you'll be able to find it.
Okay.
Or just look for Sigils, Sigils, and that should be able to help you do that. It takes a part of the game and makes it its own game itself. The one where you take the sigils and you place them kind of like Tetris blocks.
Gotcha.
It's nothing but those things. But every time you complete a row, you earn a code that you can unlock in the main game whenever the main game goes live.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll unlock different aspects of stuff in the game that you can unlock. I can't remember what they all are because they are not active yet in the main game. That game doesn't release until December 11th, I believe. Talos Principle. Very fun puzzle game. You guys, if you like puzzle games, you're really, really going to love this one. You really are. It is fun to come back to. I'm really am not supposed to be talking about it, so I'll shut up. Well, I was about to go further into my kind of opinion on the game, and I was like, nope, I'm not supposed to talk about it. I got to shut up. I really want to tell you about it, but I can't tell you what I want to say. Actually, I can tell you. I'll call you later. I'll send you a text or something, but I can't say it. Anyway, that's it. Nate, thanks so much for calling, man.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll be in the chat room.
All right, you'll be here next week, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye. And if you would like to give us a call on this really nasty, noisy show that we've got with all the static and stuff, you are more than welcome to do so. We would rather hear your voice than that static, and our own. 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228. We're going to go to a commercial break here. When we come back, we will have more of in-game chat in just a moment. We'll be right back. Here is music from Phantasy Star Universe. Before we go, thanks for everybody for sending in all of that music. We really do appreciate it. It is going to get in there. You can, by the way, you can stop sending music. I'm good right now. I got plenty, but I am going to get that stuff in there hopefully for the next episode. But yeah, we'll be right back. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. That is music from Planescape Torment.
Really?
I almost said Tournament. But yeah, Planescape Torment. Welcome back to the show. Let's jump right into the phones. By the way, if you've got any kind of comment, question, or anything else that you would like us to discuss, please give us a call. 334-272-9228 is the number. And go into the phone right now. We have Carson on the phone. Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey, doing good, man.
Doing good.
Yeah, we're getting by. I'm getting over a nasty cold I've had for like the past couple of weeks, but Other than
my
that,
wife's been the same way. She's been out like all November, so she's right now resting.
oh wow. Have you
Yeah,
caught it? Have you caught it yet?
I think I had like a minor version of it like a week before, and it lasted like 2 days maybe. But I haven't. I've been fine since.
2 days would have been great. I would have enjoyed 2 days of being sick instead of the 10, 15 that I've enjoyed.
I've had this like sinus thing for about a month now.
Yeah, so
Blech.
how are things going in your neck of the woods and gaming and everything? What's been going on?
Oh, they're good. I've been playing a lot of the new Dragon Age Inquisition, making you want to play Origins and all that over again to kind of get re-involved back in things. But that's been fun. I've really enjoyed that, and then also been trying FarCry 4 and such. And then I stick with I'm a Milsim kind of person. I really love Arma, and I've been playing a lot of that as well. But it's, holiday season, picking up on all these new games.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these new games that need day one patches or are broken.
I was going to say, a lot more than day one patches.
Yeah.
I actually haven't touched Assassin's Creed Unity yet, I'm huge.
Don't worry, most people that bought it haven't been able to touch it because it's broken.
Yeah.
I was say, give it 3 months and it might actually
What was that
be a
thing?
real game.
What was the thing? They already canceled the season pass, or they stopped selling the season pass.
They stopped selling season pass because they're going to give away the DLC for free as recompense, essentially.
Whatever.
And the people who bought the season pass, they actually got a full $60 free game.
Do we know what game it was that they got to choose from?
What did they get?
I know Far Cry 4 was one of them. I know there's
which is pretty cool.
List of them.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'll have it for you in just a few.
Yeah, I was curious what the choices were for that. I mean, that's fine. I bought the game.
Far Cry 4, I think, has been a pretty great game. Like,
you enjoying that?
There's some jitters. Oh, I'm loving it. I mean, especially the co-op. Like, I haven't had that much fun.
You can play that
co-op
You can play that
long
entire
time.
game with co-op, right?
You can't play missions. You can do everything but campaign missions.
Can't do the missions. Okay.
But I mean, like all the stuff that might be considered tedious, like unlocking outposts or finding
fortresses,
collectibles. Exactly, you do it with friends. I mean, you turn the tedious work into probably the most fun game. Like the campaign's great and all, but man, just some of the ridiculous fun you have with your friends. It's definitely worth it, especially if you've got someone you can play with. It's definitely worth the grab.
Well, I've got it. I just haven't put any time into it, and I really need to. I feel
you have it on a console, I'm assuming?
I got it on PS4, yeah. I picked it up there so I get
you guys and your consoles.
Hey, and look, I've got a PC. It's just that, okay, look, I recently got into that Gamers Club Unlocked thing for Best Buy, and that pretty much forces me to buy physical console games.
Yeah.
Because I get 20% off new games. So Far Cry 4 cost me like $47.
That's pretty nice. Well, you just got to go to what is it, G2A, I believe is what it's called, or B2A. It's a website that pretty much people who get keys, like say you buy a graphics card or something like that, and they give you a free key with it. They actually take them to these websites and they sell the keys to these websites, and the websites actually sell them to you. So I got Dragon Age Inquisition for $40, and I got Far Cry 4 for $40.
That's not bad.
And so, I mean, there's tons of deals, and it's nice because it's a good middleman. So if, like, say you get a crappy key, they just hold your money and then they send it back to you if there is an issue with the key. So it's pretty safe.
That sounds good.
Friends who swear by it.
Yeah.
It's really awesome, and there's a ton of really good deals right now. Like Steam's got their fall sale going on. I just barely purchased South Park Stick of Truth and all the DLC for $15, which is
what
a steal.
Oh, is that on the thing? Is that today?
Yes, today.
Oh, I gotta get that.
40 hours left, and I never purchased it. I mean, I heard it was.
I forgot to look at today's deals. I had seen yesterday's deals.
Same here.
And then they switched over.
I can tell you if there's any really good ones. I mean, there's a ton of stuff for sale right now.
Yeah, South Park. I've been waiting on, man. I've been waiting for South Park.
Yeah, South Park $13.59 on Steam.
Oh my God.
$13.59. Yeah, and there's Borderlands. The pre-sequels are $40, and they've got a lot of really good deals going on.
I already picked up the pre-sequel.
I haven't tried it. I haven't even played Borderlands 2, unfortunately.
I have Borderlands 2, and I barely touched it as well.
I love that one.
I tried to touch it, but I touched it too late.
Yeah, I played the original one, but it was one of those games, and I'm sure this is true in 2 and pre-sequel, where it feels like you need to have other players with you. Otherwise, it's just like a kind of a vast emptiness.
Yeah, it does make it a lot more fun. That's one of them games that was made specifically, I think,
for 4 people.
Multiplayer.
Exactly, and that's the reason. That's the reason that I don't get much time with it is because when I got it, before I jumped into it, I think a couple of weeks had gone by, and I jumped into it, and people were so far ahead of me that I couldn't play with anybody. Screw picking up randoms. I just wanted to play with my friends.
Yeah, same
and
here.
My friends were way ahead of me, and it's just that I'm just left in the dust on that.
There were ways to pick people up, help people pick up levels. We did that with some friends of mine before.
Yeah,
like they were like maybe 20 or so levels below us, and so we took them to like harder missions, and then we just let them hang back and pick
and they would they would rank up really quickly.
Would rank up real quick that way. So that was one method that we used to pick everybody else to help us all get together evenly.
And but Tales from the Borderlands from Telltale.
That's also another one I want to pick up too.
That one I'm kind of. I like the atmosphere of Borderlands.
Have they given a release date on that?
It's out.
It's out.
Oh, it's already out.
Episode 1 is at least.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And I mean, the Telltale games I've played so far,
I'd only been paying attention to Game of Thrones, and that's
December
Tuesday.
2nd,
yeah, that's on Tuesday.
That's the only Telltale game I'm actually going to try. I've never really been a big Walking Dead person, so I didn't grab that one, even though I know that everybody says the game's great.
The game is great.
I'm really excited for the
Game
of Thrones
look,
one.
Tons of people have told me that that Morrowind and Skyrim and all those are great games, and I believe them that they are.
They're just not your kind of great
But
game.
I am just not into that whole. I'm not into that setting and not into that whatever that is, and so it's not appealing to me. So I could easily understand if the subject matter of what Walking Dead has with zombies or whatever, that's just like, that's just, it's either been overdone to you or you're just not into it. I can easily see where you could say, I don't care how great you say that game is, I have no interest. So I completely understand that. So anything
That's also,
else?
unfortunately, why I haven't tried The Last of Us, and I need to do that. I don't have a PlayStation, but
I say wow, but it's fine. It's fine if you haven't. Again, some people... Well, you don't have a console. That's right.
I've been peeking at them. I've been really wanting them, and I've been using, like in Dragon Age, I've been using an Xbox controller this whole time to play it, and it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember the last time we talked to you. I can't remember when that was, but the last time we talked to you, you were telling me, I've never had any of the home consoles.
I'm a
previous gen or next
game aficionado. I don't know. I just love the deals, and I love. I'm definitely a big fan. I mean, I like these bigger games. I just love indie small games.
Yeah, you're fine, man. It's fine. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not giving you any crap for it.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, totally.
The one that goes on about Isaac Rebirth, which is on sale for everybody who I know for a fact doesn't have it on Steam.
Yeah. I don't have it on Steam, but I've got it on PS4 and PS.
Oh yeah,
and my
forget
Vita.
about that.
Yeah,
it was the PS Plus
because it was free.
Yep.
Speaking of deals on gaming, PS Plus is a great deal on gaming. If you do get a PlayStation, but I'm I know where you're at with that, but that's tough, man. Because I see some of these exclusives that I really want to play, although. Lately, they seem to have to come out of Naughty Dog or somebody else with a really great reputation for doing these exclusive titles. Because man, those are some good games you need to experience. Uncharted series and Last of Us are that's a game really that if you do have that interest, I really hope you get around to playing it someday.
And I want to, and I think there's another game I really want to try, Destiny. I know it's got mixed reviews, but I do want to give it a shot. And then another game series that I absolutely loved when I did have a PlayStation was the Little Big Planet series. That game was really fun. And
I think 3 just came out.
My wife really enjoys it. Yeah, Little Big Planet 3 just came out like a week ago, I want to say, or recently.
Yeah, it did. It was last week that it came out. So, good stuff there. Good stuff. I hope whenever you do make are we friends on Steam?
We better be.
I think we are.
I was actually going to ask you.
I think
I'll have to look.
I was just thinking about it, and I was like, when you get your PS4 or PS3, whatever you get, add me on your friends list. And then I thought, I wonder if it's on Steam.
I don't know if I have you on Steam.
I don't know. I'll
have to message you and get that information.
Yeah. Shoot me a message over on Google, and I'll get you that info, and we'll make sure that that's the case. I think you are, but I can't remember. So, well, we appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, it was good chatting with you guys. You guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving/sale weekend.
Yeah, did you do any shopping?
I actually went and got myself a new set of golf gloves. I live in a golf part of Utah. There's so many golf courses here, and so as a business owner, like, I think one of the agreements that you have as a business owner is when you work with other businesses, they're going to invite you to go golfing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Set of clubs.
That is true.
Make sure you got a set. All right.
Yeah.
Well, take care, man. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you again soon.
You guys as well. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
man.
Take care.
Yeah.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, the number is 334-272-9228, and you can talk to us on the air. We lost our sign, the thing that says in-game chat up there. We've lost that. My computer has decided to not run, and when I plugged it in, there was nothing but static, so we'll try and fix that during the break coming up a little bit later and see if we can't get that working again, but that is the reason why you see that. There's also a hum in the board. There's about a million things wrong with today's episode, and the equipment that we're using in general. But that is the reason why they are like that. One of the things somebody tweeted us saying, hey, you're going to remove the hum. Apparently not this weekend. We're going to try, but not this weekend. When we get our new studio, we're hoping it'll be better.
Yeah, just go back to something we discussed. The Unity Season Pass. People who got that, FarCry 4 is one of the choices for getting a free game from Ubisoft. There's also The Crew, Watch Dogs, Black Flag, and Rayman Legends and Just Dance 2015. Mm-hmm. So basically, you get one of those if you had already purchased the Season Pass for Unity.
That would be pretty bad if, like, you do all that, then, like, your free game is Just Dance.
I bet everybody picked Far Cry 4 out of that list.
Most likely.
Most likely.
Unless they had already,
Unless
they have it already and, like, they didn't, like...
I doubt Watch Dogs, just because I've seen that pop on sale, so if they really wanted it, they probably already picked it up.
The Crew is probably the other likely bet for anybody who's...
I got something to say about The Crew coming up in there in whenever segment we get around to it, but let's go back to the phones now, because we've got Zufu calling in. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Scott, Dennis, Matt, RJ. How's everyone doing?
Look at that.
Howdy. I know.
He knows us by name.
Wow.
What's going on with you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I noticed that you guys were talking a little bit about the whole canceled season pass for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah.
Right.
And it seems they're really doing a backtrack on, that release really got botched because of all of the bugs, and day one patches still didn't really address all of the issues.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. It's still not in the greatest state to play, and they are still working on trying to get that game fixed. It is abysmal. It is horrible.
Yeah, it was clearly something that was pushed out just to begin holiday sales. Yeah. And who cares if it was a great game? Get those sales numbers.
Exactly, and looking back on it now, where the whole thing of parity, where they were trying to say they downgraded it for the Xbox One to make it on par with the PS4, it just turned out that the game wasn't optimized enough, not even on 900p.
Oh yeah,
it can't even get that. I can't even see them put that on 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Have you played it?
Yes, not really played it. I'm not going to buy that game, but I followed a lot of it and I watched the story on YouTube.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had actually gotten if you actually had some experience with the crap that is Assassin's Creed Unity.
No, from afar, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, because I purchased it and then I took it back and traded it in, but it was horrible. It was really, really horrible the way that game was trying to run. It was it was crap. I can understand exactly why they're doing what they're doing, as far as giving it, canceling the season pass or sales of it and making it free, trying to make their amends, and then giving people who bought the season pass a free game. They should give people who bought the game a free game because they don't have a game to play. With what's going on with that, I do feel like they are going to eventually get to where everything will be fine with it. But the reason I say that is because I feel like it was out too early, and I think they're still doing their work to make it playable.
Yeah, well, I mean, consider this. If Arkham Knight had released on Halloween and it had this kind of mess going on with it, would you be happy with that?
Oh, no.
No, you wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy with that either. And I wouldn't be happy and just as well. I mean, that would have upset me, and then I thought, oh, well, at least I've got Assassin's Creed to kind of look forward to. And then they would have released that, and it would have been crap, and I'd just...
You'd just be crying all the time.
Probably shot myself. I don't know. It just would have been horrible. thinking that these people, because Halo was the same release and it had the same problem, released on the same day, and it needed a patch and it still was broken, and it just really was depressing that week. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Arkham Knight, and what I really don't want to see is that it does take this long to release it and it still comes out and needs patches and bugs and fixes and whatever else. I really hope that doesn't happen.
No, I mean it's not like this happened with Rocksteady.
It hasn't. It hasn't. It has happened.
But I mean,
with...
it is certainly something to keep in mind when they announced Assassin's Creed 6, and it's like, yeah, maybe I should wait 3 months till the game's actually finished.
That'll be a fun. I say that'll be fun. That'll be interesting to watch because I'll be curious if they make any reference to.
Yeah, because I mean that'll be the time when that this will come back to bite them, and to what degree. You really want to make amends with me, you announce your next Assassin's Creed game that's not going to be next year. You announce it and say, it's not coming out next year. It'll be either the year after or whatever. We don't have a date for it, but it's not going to be ready for next year's release. So that you don't have an annual release. I'll have a little bit more faith in you when the game actually does if you skip one of those years. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I'll be a little bit more optimistic that you're making things run exactly how they're supposed to run.
And you know what turns my butter? The whole thing with
you called just for that, didn't you? That's the only reason you called. So you get in that reference that's been going on in the chat room. Churn and butter. That is the only reason you did that.
But we appreciate it.
If that is, it's okay. Because,
I have a legitimate, real point about that, and that's a lot of people have forgotten already that they did that game of they didn't let the embargoes go until 12 p.m. the day of the release. So a lot of people weren't able to even find out about the game reviews until the game's already been out. I think that's the precedent. I don't think an embargo has actually gone that far where it was 12 p.m. That same day the game came out. So people already had started buying the game and no reviews were out for it yet.
Yeah.
And there's something similar with that going on with the Crew.
They're doing something with the Crew in that regard. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, we'll get into a bit more on that discussion.
We will get into that a little bit later in the show because it kind of feels like it feels like Assassin's Creed all over again, but they have their reasons as to why they're doing it, and
there's like a slightly more justifiable reason.
It's a mixture of Destiny's excuse, and Assassin's Creed situation.
It certainly doesn't help that they had this issue with reviews for Unity, and then this comes around the corner.
It doesn't help that it's Ubisoft.
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't help if it was anybody, but Ubisoft is just stacking on to their previous situation, and not a good thing. Always feels like we come on the show and we just doom and gloom every single weekend, man.
Well,
I'm not saying it's our fault.
I was about to say it's not us. It's half-baked games coming out and
doom and gloom.
Oh, not our fault. The game's just half-baked. You have a free game.
Yeah, we talked about. It wasn't last week. It was the week before last. So we talked about this that review embargo situation.
Yeah.
For Assassin's Creed, and it was just as pathetic as what it was. It was just pathetic. There's more words I wish I could say, but I can't because we're on the radio. So, what else, man?
I think Dennis kind of hit on the reason why it came out broken as it is. We're at the end of the year. I guess the fiscal year, they have to meet maybe certain numbers for investors.
Yeah, end of year, holiday sales. Exactly. People want to buy a new game for everybody.
Well, the fiscal year ends in March, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the end of the winter quarter.
Right.
But
fiscal year ends in March, but you do the most sales if you put it out during the holiday season, which is why they rush to do that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm used to fiscal year ending in October.
Same here.
I thought it ended in March. Am I wrong?
I know at my job it's October.
My job as well. Everything
FY,
October. Everything they want everything in by the end of October.
Yeah, October 31st.
Oh, and that's why it's not in economics chat.
Yeah, really. I think it's March for video games. Okay. I think it's March for game sales. Mm-hmm. I could be
either way.
I could be completely wrong, but I think it is March for game sales because then there is no, I don't know. It just doesn't seem if the fiscal quarter or the fiscal year just started, then easily why not wait?
Yeah,
exactly.
Why not wait to release this? So I think it is March for video games, but I could be completely wrong. Regardless of that,
where's Nate?
Holidays makes the sales, or holidays make the sales for the games, and that's and they've got to have one released yearly. The problem, and we talked about this.
Nate says it's May.
Oh, it's even I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I think he's just throwing a date out there. He could be wrong. He could be right. The other problem was that they had released Rogue. They released Rogue and Unity on the same day. Rogue being a 360 and a PS3 game, and Unity being the next gen and PC.
Have we
titles.
heard any issues with Rogue at all?
None. You haven't heard a thing. In fact, I hear people playing it, and they're completely
saying it's
fine
wonderful.
with it.
This is like the Assassin's Creed experience that you should have been playing.
Well, they feel like it's just Black Flag in the cold.
Yeah,
is what they're saying.
About it, which
and that's
not necessarily a
fine.
bad thing.
No, it's fine. It's just that they already had their annual release. Why not leave it at Rogue? Why did they have to do Unity? And that's the thing that gets me. That makes me question the whole situation. Is like you already had two titles, two of the same game, Assassin's Creed Rogue and Assassin's Creed Unity, released on the same day. One for previous gen, one for next gen. Why not just hold off on that next gen one that was not ready to be released?
Because everybody wants to play their new...
And save that one for next year. But then make a port. Everybody else is doing that. Make a port. FarCry. It's on Far Cry 4. It's on all the systems.
Yeah. Well,
they
that's
didn't do
just smart.
They didn't do a Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4 last gen and then like Far Cry 5 next gen.
Yeah.
They just did that. Why not? Why didn't they do that with Assassin's Creed? This is what really confuses me, makes me wonder what was going on. Did they have a contract they had to meet? Did they have some tie-in that had to be done? Was there no way that they could delay this?
Yeah, entirely possible.
You delayed Watch Dogs, but Watch Dogs was your first, and I'm sure we're going to see sequels. But Watch Dogs was your first, and they delayed that until like May. It was supposed to get a holiday release, but they delayed it till May. They didn't really care because they already had an Assassin's Creed Black Flag coming out that year.
Yeah.
So they were okay on an annual, nice little game release from Ubisoft. Why they didn't just take Rogue, and I've told you about Rogue. I've told you that the ending of Rogue is the beginning of Unity. It would have been fine.
It would have made more sense.
It would have been great to play through Rogue and get through it, and then hear about Unity being announced and being, oh, I wonder how that game. Then pop it in, and the first mission, I'm like, oh my God, this is what I just did last year. Would have been a great surprise. Whoa. We lost Zufu. Would have been a great surprise. I don't necessarily know that Zufu hung up on us. I don't trust our equipment enough to say that happened. We could have easily lost him. I'm not sure. So, but it would have been a great surprise to see, and I think they were better with Rogue than they were with Unity, obviously. So, I don't know, Zufu. We appreciate you calling in. If you lost connection or if you had to go or something like that, sorry we kept you on so long. But if you'd like to call us and be on the show, you can, 334-272.
Saying his call dropped.
9228. Well, again, that could have been on us more than it could have been on him. So who knows what's breaking down in this place tonight. 334-272-9228 is our number. We will be back with more of in-game chat in just a moment. Here is... What is this? This is Halo Spartan Assault, finishing the fight. We'll be right back in just a moment. And welcome back to In-Game Chat.
So I can't hear that music without, like, automatically in my brain hearing the sound of coins just
Bling.
flying
Yeah,
every
I know.
which direction.
Yeah.
Is that Emerald Hill?
Green Hill.
Oh, Green Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Emeralds are green. Close enough.
Wasn't there an Emerald, though?
Maybe in 2.
Well, I'm used to 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
I played that more.
I can't remember. You're our Sonic guy there, so I don't know. As far as anybody being a Sonic guy.
And I knew that wasn't Mega Man. Yay.
That's always good. Welcome to the second hour of In-Game Chat, and thanks for listening and putting up with us. I don't hear it.
So
everything sounds smooth as...
I know.
Wow,
Butter.
that's nice.
So I want to get this off my chest.
It's... what do you want to get off your chest?
The trailer that was released yesterday.
We'll talk about that later.
All right, fine.
I wanted to get, because we'd mentioned it last segment, I wanted to get in that Ubisoft situation.
Okay, let's do that instead.
The crew, they are not allowing early access for reviewers, essentially. We'll release...
Never good, I don't think.
Yeah, it's supposed to release this... Is it this week?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think December 2nd.
I think it's December 2nd.
And they said, nope, no early access. And we want you to put in at least 50 hours to make it a good, honest review of everything in the game.
Well, okay, I can respect that part.
Well, it is essentially kind of a multiplayer
driving
type thing, but it's...
Well, I mean, that to me, that makes more sense, like, as opposed to, like, when reviewers only play it, like, just a couple hours. That's not a real good, in my opinion, a good impersonation. Man, words tonight, bad. I think some games you do have to put in a lot of time, more than just a couple hours in to truly appreciate everything that goes into it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this isn't it's a game review, essentially. And people are looking for these when the game comes out, not necessarily like 2.5 days after the fact.
Mm-hmm. It just seems like what this does is just gives them the ability to say,
be like, oh, we have our sale now. Oh, it's bad, it's terrible, it's half baked again.
Yeah, see, it doesn't give anybody any time. It gives nobody time to evaluate the game and say, okay, this game's got bugs, you guys need to avoid it before you play it. It just throws it out there, and then people have to make that choice. Yeah. And
well, I mean, it's entirely possible.
You thought they would really...
Game. That is a possibility.
I love your optimism.
But, yeah, Ubisoft has a lot stacked against it in that regard.
Yeah, not the best history right now.
Right, especially after that whole Assassin's Creed situation, why they would go back and do this, knowing. And I realize the excuse that they're giving. They're throwing that out there to make sure that, hey, we're doing this because you can't get the full experience. Given a Destiny excuse. You can't get the full experience of having thousands of people on the road.
You can't get the full experience until the controller's in your hands. You're reading a review, even if somebody who's like played 100+ hours, it's still not the full experience.
And it contradicts themselves because they did this with FarCry 4.
Mm-hmm.
FarCry 4 had co-op and also had a multiplayer aspect of it. But they still let people review it.
Yeah.
If you give, and the crew doesn't have to be played online. You can play that offline, as far as I know, and I could be wrong. I don't think it's an always online situation.
Yeah, not that I know.
I haven't looked it up.
It's primarily meant to be a multiplayer.
I realize that it is primarily, but I've seen other people play it and not worry about that. Need for Speed had that situation, but people could review it, and that's not a Ubisoft title.
In single player components. It's not like you couldn't say, like,
I guess our
driving physics are bad.
Yeah, I guess our point is there's precedent already set that you can release a review, or you can release review copy code of a game for people to play and evaluate, even though maybe it's meant to be played online with a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. You can still...
Yeah, you can at least let people get impressions.
Yeah.
But, I mean, clearly Ubisoft has determined that's not in their best interest at all.
It doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me as a game consumer when you don't let people review the things. It lets me know that you have no confidence in this game going out to the public, or you're just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, we can't have that controlled experience you want. It's like we talked about demos and things like that. Releasing a demo always seems to do worse for the game than better because people get an idea of what it is. So don't let the idea get out there.
What was the idea? Try
Get the
before
day
you,
one sale.
What was the saying? Try before you buy.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Yeah. We don't want you to try it. Just buy it and we'll fix it later.
I missed there were some really good demos back in the day. The demo for Half-Life was amazing. It wasn't. We've talked about that in the past. How when actually a part of the game is a separate level altogether. And I wish they'd do something like that. That way you get an idea of the game mechanics, you get an idea of the pace, the play. But you're not. When you get the final game, you're not rehashing the first 15 whatever minutes of the game again. So I don't know. I'd go for demos.
I mean, how many folks picked up Child of Light because the experience they had with that demo? I think James, when he was talking about Child of Light, had that demo.
He picked it up.
He picked it up off of that. Yeah.
I never played the demo for that, although I know it hits sales all the time, so I might be picking that up. But
yeah, and it's a Ubisoft game.
It is.
Not necessarily the same team as behind Unity and FarCry 4 and all that.
Well, Child of Light was the that was UbiArts, I believe is who that was. Guys that did Rayman, and the guys that did Valiant Hearts.
Ah, yes.
Which I could almost look at UbiArts as like a different entity from Ubisoft, and it kind of is because they're making a different type of game.
Yeah.
And so I can't really lump them in when I talk about how bad Ubisoft is. It's like except for UbiArts, those guys are fine. Leave them alone. But the regular Ubisoft folks got some issues, and I really don't think it's them. I think it's more the corporate folks who pushed for what they pushed for, getting Assassin's Creed Unity out there without it being finished, and now doing what they're doing with the Crew, probably knowing that it's not finished or that it's got some issues.
There's something they don't have confidence in.
Yeah.
Is what that speaks to me. There's something about the Crew where having a public eye on it would be bad at this juncture. Either it would hurt their sales or get bad press or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like another way for them to get around the situation that they had with Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah.
Because Assassin's Creed Unity had the embargo 12 hours after release.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, when does the embargo review lift on this after release?
There's no embargo because nobody's getting
nobody's getting the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't get to try the full game. I think there's
so then there's
beta going on.
So that's what there's been some betas.
Yeah.
So then that's how they're getting around it now, so that they don't look bad as far as doing it again. They're just like, well, we're just not going to do an embargo. We'll just release it and let them review it after release.
Yeah. I mean, they're well within their right to not do review codes. That's fine.
They are.
But it's also very telling. Why would you do that when everybody's pretty much generous with review codes overall? What is it about the Crew that you're afraid of?
Yeah, the first thought is, what are you hiding? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you let us see it? Let's see what you got before we decide to put our money in this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard saying. I wonder when they announced that this week, essentially, right? So this was after all the
I think after the
Unity, Unity and everything.
Well, yeah, they already knew they were in hot water again. They couldn't couldn't rightfully go back and say, by the way, the review embargo for the Crew is the same, 12 hours after release.
No,
they couldn't go back and do that. So they just decided, no embargo, nobody gets to review it until it's done, but not in a vindictive way, not a here's how we get back at you people, in a way of the reason is because the game doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Because they can't review the full game, so we just can't let them do a review until the game's released, so they can experience the full aspect of what the Crew is. They shield it, they hide it behind this.
Just like Destiny was supposed, you couldn't truly experience it without 10,000 players. So, yeah. So it goes back. Nobody at Bungie knew what Destiny would be. Apparently, nobody at Ubisoft knows what the Crew will be.
Right. I don't know. I played the Crew. by the way. I played it...
like PAX?
Yes. Not this past year's PAX. Year before that.
Okay. What were your impressions back then?
Been around for a while. I thought the controls were a little bit loose. I've talked to Ian Angus, who is he's a Facebook friend. He's been on. He's called into the show before, and he's been in our chat room before. And he used to work for Criterion.
Yeah.
He works for Konami now, but he made a post on Facebook about the game, and then I said, man, all racing games, all arcade racers have a measuring stick to live up to for me, and it's Burnout.
Burnout, yeah.
It's always going to be Burnout. And I don't judge them on the crashing physics. That's neither here nor there. I can't ever put somebody... I can't ever hold anybody up to the standards of what Burnout did for crash physics and for model damage.
That wouldn't be fair.
I can't do that. With the exception of, I think, is it Bugbear? Wreckfest, I think, is what it's called. It was called Next Car Game, but I think they finally got a title for it called Wreckfest, and it's on Steam. It's in early access or just like a beta thing. They haven't done any kind of release for it, but it is nothing but crashing cars. Still, not the mechanics, but the controls, the way the car handles and that sort of thing, the way the cars move, and the speed, the sense of speed. I always try to compare those to Burnout because that's the best I've ever gotten for racing, for my personal tastes. And nothing has really ever lived up to what Burnout is. I really don't place them that high on a pedestal. I even look at Criterion's previous releases like Need for Speed series. Mm-hmm. It's just not there. The damaging, forget it. That's not there. But the sense of speed was good in that first Need for Speed that they did. The sense of speed was very good in that one, and I can't remember what the name of that one was. It wasn't Hot Pursuit. It might have been.
Rivals?
No. It was Hot Pursuit. It was Hot Pursuit. There's been Hot Pursuit, and then there was Rivals, and then there was, I thought, another one, but I could be wrong.
A Need for Speed game?
Yes.
The Run?
No, that was not Criterion. That was neat. That was EA, and that was their thing. Okay. But that was not Criterion. Criterion did Hot Pursuit, and then they did another one that I am totally forgetting. Most Wanted. Okay. They did Most Wanted, and then Rivals was done by a company called Ghosts, which is a lot of Criterion folks split off, and they formed the Ghost development team, and they did Need for Speed Rivals, which also had a sale for Black Friday. But Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, they all had that sense of speed that Burnout had, but the car controls were not like they were for Burnout.
Not as tight?
Not as... maybe too tight, actually.
Okay.
Maybe too tight. Not as loose as they were with Burnout. It's been a while since I played Burnout. So I'd have to go back and see, but I just knew I wasn't getting that sense of feeling of controlling. And that's what I measured them all by. And the crew didn't have any of that. The crew had none of it. What the crew did have was the online aspect. That was kind of nice. The little bit that I played with like 5 other people, that was kind of nice with that. But I played one round of that, so I didn't get into any kind of the meat of the game where you can seriously go back. I can remember the E3 when that game was announced, and I believe it was Jeremy who said something. He tweeted something about like, "Oh, the crew looks like something I would enjoy."
Yeah.
And I was like, because they were talking about all these different parts that you could put on your car, and you could mix and match and do all this stuff and modify your own car and then go out there and play online and then earn points, modify them again.
What part of that is affected by the thousands and thousands of players? That's the thing. I was just reading through Ubisoft's blog, and the reason is because they say you can't experience the crew without thousands and thousands of players like we were discussing.
Yeah.
So it's like, so nothing can be looked at? Not at all? Bupkis. That's terrible.
Bupkis. I don't hear that word enough.
No.
Yeah. And so I don't know what they're doing. All I know is that this is their way of getting around saying that they're not holding embargoes until after release.
Because that would be bad. That'd be like their last one.
It seems like it's worse. But see, the problem is that they're hiding it behind the fact that, well, you just can't get the full experience until it's released.
Yeah, that worked well for Destiny.
It's still getting hid. It's just a different terminology for...
Destiny did okay with that, actually. I mean, their reviews weren't that great, weren't that bad. I'm really curious to see where the crew falls in on this. Maybe maybe I will take back GTA 5, and then I'll put a reserve down on the Crew and pick that up and give it a shot and see. I tell you, I'm always looking for my next Burnout, and I apparently am never going to get it.
Yeah, you should go ahead and pre-order the Crew.
No, I am.
I want to see your face next Saturday.
I'm not pre-ordering the Crew. I may still buy it. Look, the only reason that I pre-ordered the games that I have is because I got a $10 back from Best Buy because of the Gamers Club membership thing. Those specific games, GTA 5, Far Cry 4, Unity, and Halo Master Chief, all had a pre-order this and you'll get $10 back in about a month. And I was like, okay, that's fine, because then I'll have that $10 to spend on the next game that I buy and that sort of thing. So that was the only reason I did those. And I pre-ordered like the day before release, so I don't necessarily know that counted towards it being like...
It probably did count towards their day one numbers.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah, I'm sure it counts towards the day one numbers. I just don't think it counts towards like, oh, look how many pre-orders we got. I don't think I fell into that group. So anyway, we need to take another break. When we come back, we'll let Matt talk about Star Wars.
Yay.
And anything that you might want to talk about as far as games are concerned, give us a call, 334-272-9228. We'll be back in just a moment. Here is music from Soul Calibur. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music there from Space Channel 5.
We weren't sure if it was that or Interstate 76. Both had that sort of funk feel to it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember Interstate 76.
Yeah.
Man. I remember that. Going back a good ways. All right, welcome back to the show. Matt, you've got 30 minutes.
I don't think I need
to
that
talk about
long.
a minute.
88 seconds, and I don't think I need that long. I just want to say, this is kind of important. This is like in line.
It is important to you. It is.
Not just to me. There's a lot of people out there. New Star Wars. The teaser trailer got released, and I'm actually really excited. I know, hard to believe, but
no, not the guy who has his own commando armor
and TIE pilot. And I'm looking at eventually getting a stormtrooper, but that's a whole other story.
It's fine. It's just like, geez, where do you get the free time?
No kids. But no, it looked really interesting. I talked to James a little bit about it yesterday, and like things that like first off showing off the person in the stormtrooper armor. It's not a Jango Fett clone, so like setting up the stage that the Jango clones have been weeded out after the Clone Wars, because like it's never been really officially stated how long the clones have been in service. With the accelerated growth and everything.
Just before we get even further, I'm not going to have anything to add to this conversation. I can't respond to anything you just said.
Did you see the trailer?
I have watched the trailer, yes.
And you've seen the movies?
Well, yeah.
Then, that's, you got plenty to add.
No, I really don't. I don't. I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add to what you're saying right now and likely what you're going to be saying when you talk about the trailer. I don't have the kind of knowledge you have. I don't have that kind of insight. When I see a stormtrooper, I'm like, I've seen those before. You say no.
No, those are completely new armor.
Yeah. Can they aim in this one?
They could aim in other ones.
No, they couldn't.
They get gunshot.
They could have hit the broadside of a barn in the other ones.
Whatever, they destroyed a whole bunch of Jawas.
Yeah,
and rebel pilots.
And Luke's uncle and aunt?
Yes.
Yeah, what a challenge.
But I'm just saying, this is the difference.
Yeah.
This is the difference. I see a 2-second clip of Stormtrooper outfit, and I say that looks the same. You see a 2-second clip, and you're like, look at all the differences.
Yeah.
So that's why I won't have anything to contribute to this.
And, and in all honesty, I have not been following any of the plot details. I don't know anything about the story. I'm staying completely away from all that stuff. All I really know about the story is what I saw in that, teaser trailer. And I know, some of the cast. But other than that, I've stayed away from everything. But I have my own theory of, kind of why things look the way they do. And I think, because a lot of people I've been talking to, they going under the assumption that after the Thrawn books, like Heir to the Empire and all that stuff, that there's the New Republic, that Leia and Han set up the New Republic after Jedi. After looking at this, I'm kind of wondering if the Empire is still not going strong and they're still in a state of rebellion.
Well, they said the entire expanded universe is
gone. Yeah,
no longer canon.
Yeah,
and this takes place
30 years after Jedi.
30? Yeah.
Yeah. But, if the Empire was still... if there was, the Imperial Remnant, or if they, had disbanded, then why would they have bright, shiny outfits and new Stormtrooper armor? And yet, the people still look like a bunch of... the X-Wing pilots still look like a bunch of ragtag rebels. So I'm thinking that, we're still in a state of rebellion. Which, I could be totally wrong. I'll find out next year, but...
you have the goofy-looking lightsaber.
Yeah, that looked like a broadsword lightsaber.
Yeah, with
I don't
the little things flare up on the hilt, and it's just like, really.
Well, where do we go from Darth Maul?
What's that going to work on? How are you going to? You poke off one of the little things and throw it at somebody.
I didn't get.
It's a light dagger.
Yeah,
or whatever they want to call it.
A light needle.
But seeing the new Millennium Falcon was really.
I'm gonna crochet.
Seeing the Falcon with the the TIE fighters are really cool. Seeing the girl on her little speeder, I noticed her goggles were old Stormtrooper, Episode 4, from the helmet, they're Stormtrooper goggles. So that's kind of interesting.
30 years really is compared in that universe. 30 years is not very long.
It only took 18 years after the Clone Wars for everyone to basically forget that they were Jedi. So,
I have no idea what that means.
Well, after the Clone Wars, during the Clone Wars, you had all the Jedis running around everywhere doing Jedi stuff. But you get to Episode 4 and everybody's like, I don't remember Jedi that much, or the hokey.
That's because Lucas screwed up his story.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Lucas screwed up his story. He really screwed up his story, and I feel bad for you guys. You.
Old Man Jones in a refrigerator.
Yeah. He screwed up. Trust me, for us who are not really into Star Wars but may enjoy some of the other things, he screwed up our stories too.
Yeah.
Namely that one he just mentioned, Indiana Jones. He screwed up our stuff, man. To the point that we only recognize 3 movies exist, not 4. And
so was he trying to do a prequel, or was this just a bad reboot attempt?
What are these new movies?
For Star Wars.
It's
Star Wars in general.
Oh, really? It's just this is a continuing saga. It's not. It's
well,
not
I think he's talking about it. He's talking about George. Why did he go back and
bad
do
reboot or something? What?
Are you talking about the new movie?
any of these movies. But we keep saying
Well,
he
4 or
messed
5
up the whole thing. So
Well, just
Right. So like in the whatever, it's 70s, 80s, late
77,
77,
March
and,
25th.
and then
May 25th.
80 for the sequel, right?
80 for the sequel, 83 for Jedi.
Right. So he did these 3 movies back then during that time frame, and originally it was supposed to be what, a 12-episode saga thing?
9.
9. It was only going to be 9. I thought it was. I don't know why I got 12.
I mean, there's always conflicting reports, and he's never been, in my opinion, stuck to the story. He's always said, "Well, I knew from the get-go what was going to happen," but it feels like he was making it up, like for the prequels. He's making it up as he went along.
Yeah.
He may have had like a general story idea.
So like
but-
originally it was supposed to be 9 or whatever. It's supposed to be more than 3 he made.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think a lot of people had just written it off that we'll never see the first 3 episodes and the last 3 episodes. We'll just have these here. We'll never see whatever.
The middle part of it.
And then like late 90s, he comes around and starts saying he wants to do
episode 1.
He wants to
3.
do the first 3 episodes again, and everybody's like pretty cool with that. They're like, okay, sure, go ahead. This, we'd love to see that. Like the trailer releases were like, this is really good.
It was a great
And
trailer.
then-
It's great.
Misa, a new episode.
And then they released it, and it was really bad. And then they released the second one, and I think the second one was actually probably the best out of the 3.
Really?
I don't know. And it's
my least favorite.
I've seen them once. And then they released the third film, trying to make up for everything else that they'd been doing. And did he film those back to back, or was that?
No, he filmed them like
They were
3
spaced
years
out, I believe.
Yeah, they were 3 years apart, but they were spaced out.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I didn't think it
Hobbit.
was. So, and just so many contradictions in the 20 some odd years since the last one had released.
Yeah.
So many contradictions and so many continuity problems between the first 3 and then the other 3.
You can get a lab test for the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just screwed up a story. He cashed in, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure what he did. But he's always been changing his stuff anyway.
Yeah.
He changed the first 3. He's always been.
97
He's
with the
never been
special
satisfied with anything he's ever done, and so he's always changed it. Until now, when he sold it to Disney, and he's not allowed to touch it anymore.
Yeah. A lot of us are hoping that Disney releases like an actual good, legit Blu-ray version of the theatrical releases of the original.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
So.
But I was excited.
I'm sure you were.
Like seeing the Falcon, like seeing TIE fighters. To me, this felt more to me like Star Wars than the prequels do. Because this is stuff that I knew, this stuff I grew up on. So, yeah.
Well, good.
I just have to wait a year.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the minute or so of footage that you got to see.
Yeah.
And, so, like I said, there were 2 parts in that trailer that got me going, and it was the X-Wings over the water, and it was the Falcon in the desert. That was it. Those 2 were maybe 5 seconds altogether. And that was what I took away from that. It was like, okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, and lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'd have to throw that in somewhere.
They always do. It's like, well, all right, we have lightsabers in the first 3 episodes. The next, the prequels had the dual blade lightsaber. What are we going to do for these? About the only place we can go is a hilt.
Yeah.
Or maybe making one that's not straight. Maybe making one that's that bends somehow.
Like a
scimitar.
Yeah, like a scimitar. Yeah. Bet you one of those shows up, man.
It was like a katana or a scimitar. I was thinking, so it curves that much, huh?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, man. They've
light nunchucks.
They apparently have no way. They apparently have to.
That's going to hurt themselves doing something like that.
They apparently have to reinvent it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been one of those things. I'm not educated in any way like Matt is, but it's always been it's one of those gimmicks that they always have to have every time it comes around. What's the new saber going to look like? How are the sabers going to handle this time? What's the new gimmick going to be? What's the new model look like? There's always got to be something. So who knows what they'll come up with next? But did you get it out of your system? You want to do it anymore?
No,
You good?
I'm good.
Good. Okay.
Let's talk about games.
All right, we can go back to games. I haven't played anything. Because I lost my computer and everything else, what else is on the list that you would like to talk about there, Dennis?
There's been anybody who's... We're going to go into this again. Binding of Isaac Rebirth. They are taking suggestions for...
I knew it would be Binding of Isaac.
Yes. Well, of course you did. But anything where they want suggestions for items to put into DLC. They are planning on releasing a DLC pack down the way, and they're taking fan suggestions. Not any like thematic things, not like what it looks like or anything. Just like, here's what this item does, here's what it is, and we'll do basically asking like, don't say make this item but better or anything like that. Just like any weird mechanics, just throw them out there. There's a Reddit thread going on right now where anybody can post on. They said they're going to just take a look and see which ones are the best and get those on there. I
was about to say, any certain type of thing that people are coming with overall? Like, what do most people want, really?
I haven't looked at suggestions. I mean, there are some people who, a lot of the ones I looked at didn't care about the rules and were like, oh, do this particular thing, do that particular thing. It's like,
okay,
don't, here's my suggestion for what it should look like. It's like, that wasn't the point. I haven't really pre-used it because that was like some of the top voted ones, and it was like, if you can't, why did you bother if you couldn't follow the rules? But whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have my mic off. I wanted to say that Theodore Stromberg sent us an email just before the show started. We had talked about the Eve trailer last week, the This Is Eve, and we had kind of, I'd kind of thrown out my doubt of like, I wonder how much of that was like a marketing ploy or something like that. How much of that was fabricated or reproduced?
Yeah,
maybe.
It was kind of like the Leroy Jenkins video or something.
Because everything sounded really good, like the communication and everything else sounded really, really good, and people were enunciating, and everything just seemed to be too well done for it to be coming straight from the player base. And he wrote in to say that no, everything came straight from the player base. They solicited for recordings and everything else from people to send that stuff in because they were going to make this thing. And obviously they probably had to weed through a ton of different things to pick those out. But he strongly assured me that everything came from the community. The voice chats, the actions, everything came from the community. And so, and I agreed with him that he said he thought it was a great way to market the game is to just show people actually playing it. I totally agree with him on that. I just was like, I wonder how much of that was reproduced. Yeah. And apparently none of it was.
So that's good. It's good to have like honest, trailers like that.
Yeah. Oh God, have you seen the trailer?
No.
Oh man, it's a great trailer.
I'll pull it up later.
It's called This Is Eve. Right. It's got some language stuff because it's using real people playing the games.
Yeah.
But man, is it really? I tell you, it really makes me want to play that game. But I know what's in that game, and I don't know that I want to play it.
Tried it so many years ago.
Yeah, James has given me plenty of warning of being like, I don't think it's going to be your kind of thing.
That's a time sink, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a real time sink, that game, yeah.
There's a lot of things with it.
Yeah, and speaking of CCP, they recently shut down a proposed remake of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
They say why they did that? Did they say why?
No, nothing particular.
Other than probably copyright, I suppose?
Yeah, it's their copyright. They were working on World of Darkness MMO a while back, and that kind of fell through. But they are the rights holders. They own White Wolf, the company that made Vampire the Masquerade. So
it's a shame because I know a lot of players would want that.
Yeah, and they've never like exactly gone after people made the fan patches for the original game, but
maybe that's just one step too far over the line.
Yeah, it might be like actually producing this product, and it was like the guys doing the proposed remake had used some artwork from them as well on their website, and I mean CCP's well within their rights regarding it. It's just kind of I wouldn't say a reversal because they didn't do anything about the fan made patches that have been added to Bloodlines over the long period of time that's been out to make it an actual functional game in some places. But it is kind of like kind kind of say I would like to see something come of that. Either if CCP puts out some kind of product along those lines, or heck, talks to the guys who were working on this and maybe try
get
to
them
hash
on
out. Yeah.
What better way than make it not a fan thing, but to hire the people and have them do it?
Yeah.
Because obviously they have the desire to.
It's been done before. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Before we go into what we're going to be playing next week and wrap up the show, I finally got Twitch to tell me who is in the room. It kept showing up, well, this is not available at this time. More likely it's our equipment's just being crap tonight. I don't know. So we'll do a chat room roll call real quick. Gersh Snort, glad to have you. What is that? Jackcraft? Jackcraft.
Looks like it.
Introspect, Mosgus, Zufu, Joe Knight, Tacitus 59, Leopold Kane, W. Matthew, Lavos, Uncle Elias is in there, Cavalier UK, Medusa's Mirror, STM Fuller, and AC Wraith hanging out in the chat room. So thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you putting up with all of our technical difficulties that we've had for this episode. Again, once we get out of this room, man, it's going to be so much better. I say that. I'm probably jinxing the hell out of it, but it's going to be better. I think it's going to be better. Probably very sure that it's going to be better once we get out of this room. So, what are you guys going to be playing next week? Anything on the list? I know you're going to go after Binding of Isaac.
Doing more Isaac Rebirth. I'm like I said last week, I'm getting to the point where my skill isn't keeping up with the progress I need to make, because what usually would take half an hour to do a run is, now that I've unlocked more levels, it can take anywhere between about 45, 55 minutes. And the last part of that is where it just amps up the difficulty. Because once you get in those further levels, they start putting bosses, the things you find as bosses in each room. And it's just spending that much time and then just dying for whatever reason, just not good enough to get past there, is just demoralizing after a bit. So moving over to Wind Waker and starting up that is kind of like therapy for that. It's like, so much time just gone because of that. It never feels unfair. That's one of the nice things. Kind of like what you said about Dark Souls. You end up dying. It's your own fault, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, more of that. More of my usuals. I'll probably try to get some more time in with Fall in London as well.
Yeah.
Far Cry 4, and I think I'm going to start Watchdog.
Watchdog?
Watch Dogs. Watch _dogs, whatever you want to call
PC?
it. Yes.
Yeah, because I think the Wii U version is released by now.
It is. It's
I
in
don't have a
stores.
Wii U.
I saw it when I was doing my Black Friday shopping.
I should look around and see,
or my Brown Thursday, whatever that is.
see how that compares, or if they even use the gamepad at all. I'm just kind of interested in, like, okay, you've had 6 months to a year to work on this. So, what do you got?
I'm very curious. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. But I think I'll start that up.
Go for it. I mean, James and I both played it and finished it, and we're done with it. And it was a chore to finish the thing.
Yeah,
it really was.
I didn't get far in the campaign. I got to the part where you have to do a online.
They force you into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are going to be forced to do an online part of it.
Yeah, where you're
forced to.
Really?
Yeah, you can't get out of that. You're forced
yeah,
to.
it's basically it's kind of an introductory mission to it. Once you've done that, you don't necessarily have to initiate it again, as far as I know.
No, you don't.
But it is basically.
Problem is my setting. I kept going into my menu settings saying, "No, turn off the online. I want to play it just."
Yeah, you had to do it every time.
I want to make it just my world. I had to do it every single time I launched the thing, because I'd be in the middle of the game and then I'd get this alert, somebody's invading, and I was like, "No, I don't want this," because then I'd have to do something about it, or at least try, and it really annoyed me. So,
did you play it on console?
No, I played on PC. Why?
That's something I have to deal with then. All right.
I'm sure they fixed. Well, maybe.
There is some fun. There was some fun to be had at launch time as well. I did when as you invade somebody else, it was kind of fun because what you have to do is you're hacking them or
it was great when you wanted to do it. I mean, if you were in the mindset of okay, I'll leave that on because I'll go through that. But I was just strictly
if you're not in the mindset to do it, then
I was strictly I'm going to do this story, and I would get interrupted in missions and stuff.
Yeah, because it's nothing to get away from. Either they get you you're stuck in it until they finish their hack, essentially. Yeah. But it is kind of fun, like kind of being stealthy and hiding, and then you can like literally see the other player who's in an alternate skin, like just dashing around madly trying to find you. Because as your hack gets progressively closer to completion, it starts narrowing down the area where you could possibly be for them.
Yeah, but you did have to do that. So Watch Dogs and Far Cry 4 for you.
Most likely, yeah.
RJ, anything?
I'm getting back in Dead Space 3, finished what I started there.
Right.
Probably play some Dreamcast and Saturn games, boot those two systems up, see what I can do with that.
Nice.
You mentioned Dark Souls, and I was thinking about the update treatment it was getting, kind of like Grand Theft Auto and Last of Us.
Getting the PS4 and Xbox One release.
Yeah, my biggest concern really is all the time and effort I've put in my PS3.
Will that transfer over?
Transfer over to PS4, and I doubt it. But if they find a way, it would get me interested in that. But
hey, this is Dark Souls.
Yeah, start over.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, get started over and do all that. Yeah.
It's like dying, except just far worse.
Yeah, it's like high stakes and Need for Speed. You lose a race, lose your car, start all over again, things like that. Or maybe Steel Battalion, lose your mech.
Oh, geez,
want updated graphics?
Yep.
Lose all your characters.
Mm-hmm. Lose everything you did. Yeah. But outside of that, that's what I'll be getting into the rest of this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As for me, I wall mounted a television by myself. I am so proud of myself.
Dang.
This was
what size?
65-inch. Yeah. This was brutal. This
is smaller than the last TV I remember you having. So
no, it couldn't have been.
Your last TV took up a wall.
Yeah, it was
70.
About
like
that was 73 inches. Yeah,
104 inches.
No, it was 73 inches. And then the one I've got now is 70 because I got rid of that one because it died. Mm-hmm. It was an old CRT, and I picked up a 75 DLP. And so that's what's in the living room. But I got a 65 for the bedroom because I've never had a TV in the bedroom. And so I got one there. And the wall mount for this thing weighs like 50 pounds. How I'm trying to remember how I did this last night. Was able to one-handedly hold it up to the wall and then also tighten the bolts that go in the studs and stuff. I don't know how I got all that done. But I got the thing mounted. And so under that's going to go. I've still got a lot to work to do with it, like install the soundbar and the shelf. But that's where I'm going to put my 360 and my PS3. And
just kind of like before bed.
Yeah, because I've got Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
that I can play.
Oh, why'd you say? 2.5 comes out this week.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man,
something's got to pull you away from Binding of Isaac.
If anything would.
It won't.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's right. Because he's got to.
I'll still play Binding of Isaac. My wife will play Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Yeah,
you'll be watching that and you'll be like, oh man.
So yeah, I've got that to play, and I've got a bunch. I've my old systems are still good. I've got all my games for that. Yeah. And so I've got plenty that I can just pop in there,
Yeah, like I said, I'm playing my Saturn and Dreamcast. Those systems still work.
Exactly. Right? And then Thanksgiving, I'd pretty much given my Wii to my aunt. She wanted it for like the exercise stuff, and I wasn't doing anything with it. Well, now you can do a lot with the Wii, with the original Wii. There's a lot of things you can do with it.
Mm-hmm. Really? A lot of homebrew stuff.
Yeah, a lot of homebrew.
Yeah, really? I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So I got that back, and I'm going to hook it up to this TV as well. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily know that any of this is all going to get done in a week before we come back. I'm going to try and make some of it happen, at least get some of Kingdom Hearts in. Mm-hmm. I bought the Metal Gear collection. I've got Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance. I'm sorry, Metal Gear Revengeance that I never played. Got it on PC, but I've also got a disc copy. So it's one of those things of, being in a comfortable place just to sit down and play the game, or lay down and play the game, since it's in the bedroom. But so yeah, I'm looking at maybe dumping into some older stuff. I'll still be playing Talos Principle, and I'll still not be able to talk to you about it. But that's coming soon. I will be able to tell you all about it. You'll be able to experience it for yourself pretty soon. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the show here. I was able to bring up all our stuff on my phone because I do not know this from heart. All the stuff that we do to end the show with. So I got it here. But thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat room, as well as everybody listening on the stream or on the radio. Thanks to everybody who grabs us each week from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. We really do appreciate it. Head over to ingamechat.net. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, our forums at colonyofgamers.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're on Steam, we've got a Steam group you can join up with over there and play games with us and other listeners. We really appreciate you joining us tonight. We will be back next Saturday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. We will see you next weekend.